Hi, it's Marina, the Soul Alchemist, and it's time for Pick Your Own Card Weekly Guidance for the 25th of September through to the 1st of October. Oh my gosh, we're in October already. So if you've not picked a card yet, I want you to tune into cards 1, 2, or 3. And I'm going to reveal those messages, themes, and energies now. Also, the bonus card this week is about money and wealth. So stick around for that. And I will reveal that message and that wisdom at the end. As per each week that I'm now saying, these cards build into each other. So you have your main focus. Absolutely listen to that. But I would encourage you to go and listen to the couple of cards because you're going to get further insights. It's going to give you extra depth to the message. Interestingly, card 2 is the same as last week's card 2. So there's a either we're not listening to that message or it's quite a pronounced, prominent message that is just kind of continuing on. And it's interesting also that card 1 is similar to card 1's position last week as well. So for me, the messages, we just need to go deeper with this theme, and it's coming through from last week into this week. And it all ties in so nicely. So if you have picked card 1, last week we had inner authority. This is deservability and self-worth. This is my favorite card of the pack. And it's not only because of what it represents, but also I just love the imagery. I love the peacock feathers, the kind of like Joan of Arc-esque Archangel Michael kind of power that's held within this card. So again, if you've picked card 1, this is about your deservability. It's about you feeling worthy of your choices, of your decisions, things that you're focusing on this week, perhaps things that you don't focus on that you need to. So where do you need more self-worth? Where do you need to feel that you are more than enough in your life, in your experiences, in your relationships, at work, in your business? And where is there a disparage around deservability and not believing that you deserve the success, deserve the recognition? So this card is really bringing through a strong message for you to look at those aspects within yourself, because it needs to start within to then change the external. So whatever's going on in our internal, we have a direct mirror of our relationships, our circumstances, our situations, of things with money, things with love, things with health. It's all being reflected back to us in order for us to look at where we need to go within to go deeper with that, to maybe do an aspect of healing, to do recognition, acknowledgement, where we need to make changes, where we need to let go of fears, doubts, insecurities, where we need to work with the ego in a better way, inner child, shadow, whatever it is, there's this deservability and self-worth. So where are you not claiming your power? Where are you not believing in yourself? Where do you feel that you are not worthy? Because this card is saying that you are, but you may just need to remind yourself of that. So have you been feeling a little bit, I am not enough, comparinitis, the social media scroll, giving our time and energy to something or someone or groups of people or that kind of activity that we know doesn't have us feel good by the end of it, but we just seem to have this urge to do it. Can you do anything that's a bit more productive and a bit more self-care, self-nurturing, self-honoring, that allows you to step back into your deservability and self-worth and knowing your power and feeling your power as well? So you might find that there's aspects in your life where you feel that you just don't feel powerful at all, and you feel that life is running away with you in that particular area, or that people don't listen to you, you're not seen, you're not heard, you feel invisible. So then, that also impacts on how we feel about ourselves and our self-worth. So really kind of do a little bit of a scan of your life areas, or as I'm speaking, it's probably coming to you. You probably can feel, or straight away can think of what this relates to. And this card is saying it is time to look at that in a bigger way. Because if we don't, it will just keep reoccurring. It'll keep repeating, and all of the little situations and the results and the bits and pieces that go on and come into our life after that will just keep happening in some shape or form, because we are not addressing the roots. We're not giving that enough airtime. We're not giving ourselves that space and that time in order to work with it or to highlight it. And you are deserving. This card is saying, and my guides are saying, you are deserving of this time and space, of this reflection, of this work, or getting support in order to do the work, to get in a fresh pair of eyes and a perspective on the situation, to do Akashic record healing or any kind of energy healing or trauma, working with a trauma therapist, whatever it might be, trauma coach. You are deserving of the life that you wish to experience, but you've got to claim it. You've got to own and claim it. And that's what this card, there's power in this card. How can you bring power to your week? How can you stand in your own power and just radiate? Not doing anything. She's not doing anything. She's just standing there and she's just being. How can you be in your radiance this week? Beautiful card. I get chills talking about it. Okay, so if you want to go deeper, or if you would like to play along with me each week, and you want to get your own Akashic Oracle card deck with the masterclass and the key, or if you'd like to come and do an in-person Akashic Oracle immersion workshop, psychic workshop, then I'm actually doing an in-person for the first time. That's going to be a 5-hour deep dive into how to use these cards with the Akashic records. Then reach out. I will share some details in the comments below so you can have a little bit more about that. But if you've got any questions, let me know. But I'm doing that on the 8th of October. So you could plan it in your diary. It's a Sunday. Come and see me, come and find me, come and work with me. And it's incredible value. If you've got your deck already, it's £79. If you need to buy your deck, then it's £129, which is what the deck retails for. It's £50. So come and work with me. Come and really deep dive into these cards, and I'll be able to share and show you what I'm doing and how I'm reading these cards and what I'm tapping into. So there'll be lots of practical guidance and advice that goes into that into that workshop. Okay, so I digress. Card 2, unconditional love. It's the same as last week, but when we tie it in with this card in terms of deservability and self-worth, then it kind of gives it a little bit of a different slant, different message. So are you feeling unworthy in a particular connection, friendship, family connection, partnership? It could be business partnership. It could be work related, like manager, peers, staff. It could be exes that you're still have regrets over, where you're giving your power away, time, energy, all of that type of stuff. So unconditional love. So that's the name of the card, unconditional love. But what I'm really tuning into is the two people, it's the relationship part. So where is there a connection, perhaps where there isn't unconditional love? And it is very much about, and most of our human relationships and connections are conditional. Obviously work, because we're conditioned, we're under contract. So there's conditions that we have to meet in order to get paid. And also perhaps we go a little bit beyond that to advance and get promoted. Family dynamics can come with conditions, and also partnerships and friendships can also come with conditions. So where is there a relationship that is particularly laden with conditions? You did this for me, I'll do this for you. It may not be said out loud, but underneath the energy of the connection, that's essentially what the dynamic is. There isn't anything where I will totally do this for you with no expectation of anything in return. I am not looking for anything. This isn't anything about that. This is about me coming from a place of love and wanting to do this for you. Now, some people find that very uncomfortable to just receive something in that way, because they were like, well, what do I need to do in return? How can I accept this without guilt or without a need to fulfill something back? And that will be on the other person not being able to just receive in a way that it doesn't feel shady, or that they've got to sacrifice themselves in some way. We can find that quite difficult to do. So I would also look at where you find it difficult to receive unconditional love because it feels uncomfortable, that because you feel there's an expectation for something to happen in return, rather than us just being gracious and saying thank you very much. It's a little bit like a compliment, and some people can really struggle with compliments as well. But that goes back to self-worth and deservability. So unconditional love, where do you have conditional relationships? Which ones are really shouting to you that something needs to change there and something needs to be tweaked? You need to stand more in your power. You need to feel a bit more in your authority, deserving and worthy. So not allowing these conditions to affect your self-worth and deservability. Where do you struggle with receiving unconditional love, and why is that? What can you do differently? What can you accept around somebody being able to do something for you without any expectation? And it will just highlight where we do have a lot of conditional relationships. And I'm not saying that they're bad or wrong, but it's also just highlighting that there might be just a need for a bit more unconditional love to go about this week. And can we come from a space of just giving and receiving from that space? So that for me is the highlight of this card, is how can we bring more unconditional love into your experience? And when we give unconditional love, of course, we're opening ourselves up to receive unconditional love as well. And when we do, don't put conditions on it. Just receive it and accept it in the energy and with the emotion and with the intention it was meant for. Now, saying that with a caveat that somebody might come across as doing the unconditional love, but really they are expecting something in return. So it's just, you know, when you're feeling that it's like, nah, they never do anything out of unconditional love, there might be just then that thing that comes up afterwards. You could just receive and accept, thank you very much, and then it might become a bit uncomfortable for them. And then it's just interesting to see if their behavior changes, because clearly they did have other motives. So there's lots of things going with this card this week. My overriding message is see how you can give from a place of unconditional love this week, and how you can receive with all types of relationships. How can you do that? So unconditional love. So that is the card for this week. So let me know how that card resonates. And also, as I say, if you want to play along with me, get your own deck of cards, come to my AKASHIC Oracle card workshop on the 8th of October, or you can have a one-to-one session online with me as well. Lots of ways to work with these cards where I can coach, teach, or you can just receive. Okay, final card for the card 3 out of the 3 is past lives. So building on the other 2 cards, we've talked about relationships and unconditional love. We've talked about deservability and self-worth. We now have card 3, which is the card that I picked, which is past lives. So I believe for me, there is a lot of connections with past lives, old behaviors, old habits, old programming and conditioning that is holding us back from these other 2 cards. What I also pick up in this card, I don't always pick it up, but I have again for this time, is these doors. with the keys in them. And for me, this is like open doors of opportunity to step through, to change our relationships, change our dynamics with people around us, where we do have those particular heavier relationships where it is built on conditions and not on just pure love for love's sake. And so there's the open doors there to create change. There's all of this potential in this card. So we're closing the doors on the past and we're opening the doors for the future. But we have the doors open to the past to release what that conditioning, it's societal conditioning, it's habits, it's programming. You know, we were taught to do relationships in a certain way. You know, they have to be all this like dramatic love story, you know, all of this stuff that we're fed, and it's just not real. So we've got an opportunity this week when we start to look at our conditional relationships and giving unconditional love within them. Straight away, if we're doing just one thing in the vein of that theme, we are releasing the past and the way that we've done things before, and we're opening up new pathways to step on when it comes to more of a 5D relationship, which is more about interconnection. It's understanding the other person's point of view but not needing to diminish them. It's co-creative, it's holding space for each other, coming together to kind of mix and create the best version of a relationship possible, taking on the viewpoints of each other. One isn't obviously more powerful than the other. Everybody is kind of equal within that relationship. That's kind of where we're trying to get to with a 5D relationship. We have a long way to go. Male and female, you know, the whole, and like, you know, all the kind of transgender and gender fluid and all of that. We've got a lot of conditioning around just male and female, you know what I mean, that we've got to work through, and what those archetypal roles are in a relationship. But this card 3, is showing us that we can release this stuff from the past and we can open new doors of potential for the future. So card 3, what can you release from the past to open doors of the future? What is holding you back from your past? May not just be related to relationships, it can also be related to other things. Let me know. And then your final card, which is connected with money and wealth. Perfect with everything that we've been talking about. It's karmic relationships. Oh my God. So money and wealth. So if you're having challenges around money and wealth, then you are connected to a karmic relationship of some kind. And this could be family, genetic, like vows of poverty, programming, conditioning, limiting beliefs around money. And there's something connected karmically for you that you are able to release that will support you with elevating your money and your wealth and being able to receive the money and wealth coming in. So we've got all of this beautiful abundance that's coming down from the universe, and you know, we're leaning back into it because we want to receive, and we're making ourselves really open and expansive. But whatever the karmic connection is to our ancestors is not supporting that as well as it could, you know. So I would probably recommend doing one of the journeys. I'll put a journey at the end of this this recording that helps you to cut karmic connections, which may not necessarily be connected with money, but for the purpose of this card and bonus, then use money and wealth as your intention of what it is that you want to cut. And whatever we kind of release, alchemize, dissolve with our ancestors, it's done for the highest good of all concerned. So if it's still supportive of you learning a lesson of some kind, or paying back karmic debt, or whatever it is, then it's going to remain there. But if we can release anything within that to make it an easier ride, to make you feel more abundant, or be able to see more opportunities where you can create more prosperity, then that's the intention that I would use for that meditation, that healing meditation. I'll put it at the end here. But karmic relationships, look at your relationship dynamics with your family in particular, but also your partners, people that you hang out with that particularly don't have a good connection with prosperity and wealth. They may complain a lot about money, the lack of money. And I know that from a societal perspective at the moment, things are challenging. I'm not ignoring that fact, but energetically, we can do what we can to not feel so connected to that, so that we can connect in with our own truth. We can keep our energies clear. We can feel more motivated to find ways to create more abundance and prosperity, and not just be dragged into a belief that nothing can be done, that this is it, we have to settle, that this is our lot. We can't go beyond that, because that's crap as well. But if you believe it, it will be your truth. So karmic relationships just helps you to give that clarity. It gives you that energetic space to be able to receive wealth, prosperity, insights, your truth in a clearer way. So watch the meditation at the end, because that will support you with that process. Let me know how you found those cards and those messages this week. Very relationship heavy, as in the focus, not heavy as in heavy. The focus is on relationships and elevating our relationships, unconditional love, releasing the past, stepping into potential of 5D relationships, feeling deserving and worthy in our relationships, and knowing that we are worthy and deserving of a bloody amazing relationship in all the ways, and releasing any karmic relationships or connections that are impacting our finances. It's all perfect. So let me know how those cards land. If you want to join me on my Akashic Oracle Immersion workshop, the psychic workshop that's going to support you with connecting in with the Akashic records, with the cards, with this deck. Also, how to use the pendulum key with the cards. There's going to be an attunement. It's 5 hours of practical receiving, lots of wisdom, lots of tips on how to use the cards, whether you're a beginner or a pro, whether you use the Akashic records or not. This workshop is available for everybody. So if you're not sure, reach out to me. I will answer your questions, and hopefully I will see you there. Okay, love and blessings. Speak to you soon. Bye.